Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Impermanence. I do not know what to do with impermanence. I only know how to live in a permanent world. Yeah, that things doesn't change around me. So I've created an illusion of permanency. In this impermanent thing, I've just said this is not going to change. This change is insignificant. Therefore, I'm okay to be here. I'm safe. But everything around me is just decaying at the moment, aging at the moment. I am also aging at the moment. But I'm okay with it. Why? I count my aging only annually, once a year. I don't count my age every moment. Only once a year call myself a birthday and takes a long way to come there. Yeah? So like that, I've created a certainty and live within the certainty. So how many things are you certain about? You're certain you're going to sleep tonight, right? So like that, when you speak, you'll see that the word certain, 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 sure, sure, sure is being used so often. And you're using it in a nature of impermanence already. You're so certain and sure about things in an impermanent world. So academically, I know what impermanence is, but when it comes to practical things, I live a cheated life. So I have learned to cheat and deny the existence of impermanence. Because I don't know how to live impermanently. Was that confusing, Aki? It wasn't. I can relate with it. Huh? Yeah, but I can relate with what you're saying here. But now I have to consider what and how I am living it now.
But when you know that things aren't going to last forever, but you make do situations that's still achievable.
So that word make do, ups. See, I make do without even you realizing, you make do with what it is. Because if you have accepted impermanence, Madhu, if Ammi or Tati dies even, right, would you be surprised? Would you be? If you understood impermanence? That the most certain thing is for somebody to decay and die?
I guess you wouldn't be surprised then.
You wouldn't be surprised. Now you'll be surprised. Because you are trying to make do with it and you expect them to live forever. Wouldn't you expect them to live forever? So that nature of hope, right? The nature of hope brings that nature of expectancy, and you put that expectancy and you expect them to be there within that hope. So you have a life expectancy in the word hope. You understand what I'm saying, my dear? Yeah, interesting to take some time to understand. Okay? And further it says, I seem to make this impermanent existence a temporary haven by repeating and reliving many a pleasurable existence, as this is the only way I know to live with certainty. Did you understand that? You're sat like this, right? And the legs hurt. Now the impermanent world will stop making that leg hurt soon. Why? That pain has to go away sometime, right? Though I can't bear up the pain for that long, so I know to change my posture and quickly bring a new cycle. So I have learned to repeat and relive certain experiences even before it comes to its end. Because I like the pleasurable bit, the front bit. So I bathe, and before I'm too dirty, I go and bathe again, I wash again. So I feel fresh all the time. I feel clean all the time. Take some time, because you need to read this a couple of times for you to get what I'm saying. And if you can get to this pada, you have got a huge grasp of this word impermanence. If you work this out inside you, you have a huge understanding of this existence of impermanence. So if a monk even here speaks in some bit about the nature of impermanence, you'll get the hang of what he's trying to say. important. Right? Okay, so if you go to the next one, right? To be born is to experience suffering. Suffering is mainly seen as a nature of experiencing sensations. So to us today, suffering is mainly the sensation, feeling of pleasure or displeasure. Yeah? That is how suffering is. So I'm writing a statement from there, which never stays still. This nature of pleasure never stays still because of the impermanence. So I constantly try to repeat the experience to have constant pleasantness. Thus I have learned to cheat and deny the existence of suffering. Now very similar to the impermanence, even the suffering, I don't allow the displeasure to be with me. I don't allow the displeasure to be with me. I always try to bring about the pleasure and live the pleasure even for a short while. And repeat the pleasurable bits. So I'm constantly in a comfortable zone and not an uncomfortable zone. So that's how I treat the nature of suffering. But actually, suffering is not just a sensation. To be born is suffering, to grow old is suffering, to fall ill is suffering, to die is suffering, to have your likes is suffering, to have your dislikes is suffering, to have expectations is suffering, to have the nature of reasoning is suffering. So he identifies 12 ways the suffering comes to us. But we now group all these things together and come to the nature of sensation, the physical feeling of it. And I now only relate the nature of physical feeling as a suffering. Now this, I'm sat on a chair, no? Yeah? Is this growing old or is it getting younger? The chair. Huh?
It's going to grow old.
It is going to grow old or is it growing old? Every moment it is decaying, right? Are you suffering because of this? No. So everything around me is changing its sensation all the time. I don't relate with everything like that. So therefore, I'm not suffering with it. Did you understand that? So you take this Nangi in front of you. She is losing life expectancy every moment with her. If she expects to live for 70 years, she has already lived so much years already. And with every moment she's being here, you're losing it. Are you suffering because of that? Not really. Now, suddenly Ammi and Bhakti are growing old every moment. And they are coming about pain and discomfort and immobility in themselves. Now are you suffering because of that? Why?
Because I look at her and I think she's young.
So the way you relate with her, this chair and your Ammi and Tati are different. So with one you have an attachment, with the other you have nothing. So with the things you don't have attachment to, you have nothing to do with it. So let it just grow old. Yeah? The people who are concerned are cutting the lawn. We are not too concerned about the lawn. So we are indoors. So everybody are going about some task that they are worried about, that they are concerned about, that they relate with. They are fulfilling a duty. We are fulfilling our duty. Who's right now? Who's right and who's wrong? There's no right, no wrong. It's just what is happening. Now we've chosen, Buddha, to now look at what others are doing and find fault with them. Find inadequacies with them. Amazing, no? I'm so judgmental now. I'm so opinionated now. So others are like that as well with me. Others are like that around me. And I try to compete with them now. I try to be more opinionated than them. So the ego comes on board and now makes you look big. Be bigger than them. And when you can't look big as them, you try to make them feel small. Yeah? And when you can't make them small or get bigger than them, what do? You try to be equal like them. Whom am I talking about? Me. And each one of us is like this. Right? So when you begin to read this a little bit more like this, as consciously as you go, you'll begin to see something quite different. Right? So here he says, to be born is to become myself. I who disguise myself as me always tries to benefit myself by reasoning to possess and dispossess things, everything as mine or not mine, because I am the cause. Who is the cause? I caused the because. I am the one who made the because. Yeah? Did you understand that? Who made every because, brother?
I did.
I did. Are you responsible for making the becauses? Do you take the responsibility?
I should.
I should. But from today, it will be different, brother. It will remind yourself that you should take the responsibility of some time. And this is what it is to live the Dhamma. Live the teachings of the Buddha is to be aware of the nature of impermanence around you, live the nature, recognize the nature of suffering around you, and live the nature of this self-identity. Yeah? Anitya, dukkha, anatta. So important to have recognized that I am born into these three things. Okay? So I would like to just skip the few indented things and go to the next one, right? I am the cause of all what I experience. I am not this body, nor is this body me. I am only an ignorant perception, because I have only benefited myself possessing everything as mine or not mine. Did you understand that statement? I am the cause of what I experience. I am not this body. I am not this body. This body is not me. I am only an ignorant perception, because I have only benefited myself possessing everything as mine and not mine. Why? Everything that is mine has a because. Yeah? My mother, my father, my relations, my house, my home. Yeah? All the my things has a because. Why? Because I made it. Because I made it mine. So this body is also mine because I made it mine. I made it mine to come and live in here. I was born and I made it to be born in this body. I made myself to be born in this body. Now there are too many owners to this. I am living in this body. My parents own my body. Own me. And you see the confusion. Yeah? So if you take a little bit of time, you could begin to consider a lot of things to understand and give room to another person to continue to be who they want to be, right? Without conflicting. So you need to question the responsibility that they have and what they hold. Okay, now the next one is something interesting I would like to read in this way. We are born with and into the triple gem. So how many of you know what the triple gem is? Haven't you heard the triple gem? Hasn't anybody wished you the triple gem? No? Interesting. How many of you know triple gem? Yeah. How many of you taken the precepts before? You say Buddhan Saranam Gacchami, Dhamman Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. These three Gacchamis, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, are the triple gem. Yeah? So it explains here, the truth of this existence is to inherently have a teacher. Have a teacher, which is the Buddha. The teachings, which is the Dhamma. And we relate it with the following, which is called the Sangha. Now, for some examples of this, right? Christ is a teacher. Christ's teachings is the Christianity. And the followers are called Christians. Yeah? Are they called Christians or something else? Okay. Yeah? Okay. So next one. A mother. A mother is a teacher. The mother's values are the teachings. And the offspring, the children, are the followers of that value, right? So we are born into that. You have no choice. Right? So take Einstein. Einstein is a teacher. Science is his teaching. And scientists are the followers. Take Prophet Muhammad. A teacher. Islam is a teaching. Muslims are the followers. Take a principal. Principal is a teacher in a curriculum. The curriculum is the teachings. Students are the followers of it. So like that, wherever you find these three things of a teacher, teachings and a following, always associated in your life. And you have multiple teachers, multiple layers of teachings and multiple layers of following to fulfill. So in that nature, the highest human teacher, higher human quality teacher is a Buddha. And in this case, it was Gautama the Buddha. Yeah? Gautama the Buddha. Now, Gautama Buddha has passed away, but the Buddhahood is still there. The space for the teacher is still there. That teacher's teachings of the Dhamma, of what a user guide or the configuration of a human being is still there. Each human being is configured with the Dhamma. So we don't have to learn Dhamma. It is inherent in us. We are born with the user guide. We are born with the capability of being a human being. And that's why from the moment we are born, we can read, we can look, listen, right? We can smell and we can taste and swallow. And that's why we can drink mother's milk from the moment we are born. And digest and excrement it as well. If somebody was to teach us all these things, we wouldn't be here. And not only that, our capability to survive was such that we were even able to learn a mother tongue without going to school. So we ourselves are a teacher to our instincts, survival instincts. Right? And the teaching is the Dhamma of survivalness. And the follower is me. So life alone makes us follow that way. So now can you consider the words Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha is always associated with Buddhism. But it is not. It is always associated with the nature of life and this universe. And it's universal to anybody. So you begin to respect another person, Buddha, now when you know this, right? Yeah. And why another person has a further religion is that they have recognized another teacher, they have taken on their teaching and following of that, and it's okay. In the same way that another family is been born to another mother, following their values and being that family name. So now can you see how you can remove conflict when certain people say that? Yeah. So always to remove conflict, you need the Dhamma inside you, a universal truth. So you can now use it and free yourself of not finding fault with another. Okay, we'll read the next one. To be born is to be related and being obliged or obligated towards another. One who is born is mostly pretentious in performing against their declarations and generally exhausted by the others' respect towards them and their unfulfilled expectations. Read it slowly again. To be born is to be related and obligated. What does that mean? When you're born to parents. And now what happens from the moment you're born? You have a dependency on them. You're dependent on your parents to bring you up. But at the same time, you're obliged to them for having brought you up. It doesn't matter how you were brought up. You're obliged. How much are you obliged? Yeah, exactly. Now do you think that the same way that you feel obliged, Nangi feels obliged? No. Each person is obliged differently, depending on how they valued what dependency they had and what another gave in the relationship. Right? So in here, right, one who is born is mostly pretentious in performing. Now what does that mean? Pretentious in their performance? Only doing something outside. Two-faced. Yeah? Two-faced. Aki, what is two-faced, Aki? What is to be two-faced? Huh?
To say or be two different things.
Yeah. Yeah. So as a Aki to this Nangi, you say one thing on the outside, but actually inside you're a different person. Don't want to admit it. But pretentious in performing against their declarations. So now you make a declaration and the other person holds you to this and you are now expected to perform against that. So the pretentiousness is what causes you in this declaration and generally exhausted by the other. Now the other people, because of your declaration, the other people hold you to that declaration. You say one thing and they hold you for the rest of your life for what you said. And you are expected to perform against them. So now what happens? Before you become too old, you are now fatigued doing the things that you didn't mean to say. But now because you said it, you can't go back on your word either. You have to do it. Yeah? Now, just take how sensitive some of these things are, right? If one of you becomes first in the class or the first year in your school life, what happens from there on?
Don't expect you to work hard.
Yeah, your declaration to say that you are able to become first in a class gives them the freedom, right, to set an expectation that you would be the first for the rest of your life. So is it easy becoming first all the time? But to them, you've already made a declaration that it was easy to become first. So they expect you to do that. So life is just hard at times, exhausting at times, not knowing the declarations we've made and how it's affecting us. Yeah? Okay, now I would like to go to the next one, down, not the indented one, right? Which is, life should be lived avoiding going into the extremes of pleasure or mortification. It should always be moral with the abstinences, with one's etiquette and discipline. This is what the middle path is about. So how many of you know what's called the middle path? Have you heard this before? Yeah? So, how does the middle path affect your life, affect your existence? Or what should you be doing to prove that you are in the middle path? Amazing, go on.
You live a life that has equal balance in everything that you do. Right?
Yeah, you live a balance, right? You live a life. So, now, what does live a life mean? Amazing. So, Pata, if you take the word how, H-O-W, as to how things happen in this world, how anything happens, it happens in conformance to the Eightfold Path, or this middle path. Yeah? All the time, everything in this world happens in association of this Eightfold Path. This Eightfold Path is grouped into three things called Sila, Samadhi, Prajna. Sila is moral, ethical disciplines you have. So if you consider, if you were to do something and to understand how it is done, you must have skills and certain disciplines to do that. No skill, you can't do it. So you must have technique, you must have skill, and you have some disciplines. So these things are the things that make what Sila, the right speech, right, the physical action, and the right livelihood is made up of. The technical things, the skills needed, the proficiency needed, and the nature of discipline or etiquette needed. So there they say, in speech you must avoid certain things, in action you must avoid certain things. Then it goes to the nature of Sila Samadhi. Samadhi is the nature of effortful concentration. So there it says the right effort, the right mindfulness and right concentration needed to achieve something. So if you were sat to study, how much of effort and concentration do you think you need? Little or a lot? Lot. So where did you learn to get the concentration? Have you learned to be concentrated or have you learned to be distracted? Great. You need the concentration, but what you're most used to is being distracted. The moment something nice you see, you're distracted. Moment you hear something, you're distracted. Moment you smell something, you're distracted. Moment you feel uncomfortable, you're distracted. So you learn to be distracted more than to be concentrated. So the how is always in jeopardy because of the nature of your distracted or the hindrances that are around you. Hindered and distracted. Yeah? So you have to learn to become a meditator to learn how to remove the distractions. How not to look at things. How not to listen to things. How not to feel this pain. And that is what meditation teaches you. How to avoid being distracted. And a person who meditates is a person who can concentrate. It doesn't matter what's happening around them. They're able to bring their mind and remove their mind from their faculties. From the ear, from the eye, from the nose, from the sense faculties in that way, and just be. And if the thoughts have anger or whatever, they're able to overcome it. And not associate with the thought patterns that are going. And they can keep their thought in one place and just be. That's meditation. So you all should have learnt meditation in a way to bring that nature of concentration in you. To fulfill and understand how to accomplish and achieve things. And lastly, he talks about the Sila Samadhi Prajna. Prajna is about the nature of wise attention. And this is how to see the suffering for what it is, stop yourself being distracted and have the will to accomplish the right intentions. Now from the moment you sit at books, what do you think? Are you thinking of subject in the book or something else that happened in school? Your mind is distracted so much that you're thinking about what happened during the day and what you have to do tomorrow. Then the task you have to read and things. But I know that most of you are rather bright, so your ability to absorb something and reproduce it quite great. I think Sri Lankan children and Indian students have that capability quite a lot. They've demonstrated quite a lot in foreign countries, in other ways. So this Eightfold Path is all about the nature of how some things happen. And the nature of middleness. Why is something called middle? What is the criteria you need to have a middle?
Everything in balance. Everything in balance.
You sure? Or do you think you need two sides? You need two extremes, but you need two sides to have a middle. The moment you have two sides, you have a middle. So don't go to two extremes. So the way to say don't go to two extremes is to be in the middle. And the middle is not the middle. Middle is abstained life with the 5 precepts. With the 5 precepts, you are living the nature of middleness, not going to extremes. And that's his explanation. And that's how to bring about the practicality of the Eightfold Path in you. Okay? What I would like to do is to go to the next sheet and go to the areas of generosity. I would just like to take a little talk about generosity. Generosity is not just being about giving unconditionally. It is about accepting another's generosity unconditionally. What does that mean? Generosity is not about just the nature of giving. Generosity is also about the nature of accepting somebody else's generosity. So, do you think that we are individuals who give to others unconditionally, or are we conditional with what we give? We are very conditional with what we give. No? Do you give to anybody though? No. Do you give to rich people? No. Poor people. You try it. So what do they need to be poor with? Material. So am I poor? I have no purse, I have no keys, I have no slippers, I have no umbrella. Just have these robes, they are torn. Am I poor? From a material point of view, I may be. But I don't want to be classed as poor. I am not poor at all. I am wise with whatever that is in this environment. If it rains, I know that I know how to dry my robes. So I'm okay getting wet. So I only need to know how to dry the robes. Then I'm okay. And I'm okay wearing wet clothes as well. Are you okay with wet clothes? Huh? No? Why?
Because they're cold.
They're cold. So what happens when you are in a swimsuit and running around or whatever, and in a pool, out again, in a pool, out again? Aren't you in wet clothes then? Then aren't you cold? Or are you just enjoying life? So I'm enjoying life and then I'm wet, I'm okay, I don't fall ill. But the moment I'm now in normal clothes and get wet in the normal clothes, wow, nose bleeds, yeah? So I am so conditional in my own self. So now can you see the nature of existence of understanding this humanness? When you look at yourself, our generosity is extremely conditional as to whom we give. Now when we condition about the nature of receiving it, we are even more conditioned because we don't receive it from anybody. We don't take from anything. Yeah? So in this existence, when others offer us goodwill, are we recipients of goodwill? But every night I sit down and continue to wish, may all the living beings in this universe be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May they be free from suffering, may they be free from intrusion of other people's, free from intrusion, may their privacy prevail. I wish all these things for you all. Do you receive it? You know that I'm saying that, right, every night? I'm telling you now. Even after telling you, are not ready to receive it. But we've never been taught to take anything from others like that. It's intangible. Bhante, you must give something that is, I can hold it in my hand. If I can't hold it, how do I know that you've given it to me? But Buddha, this world is full of kindness of other people. But our mistrust of them is such that we don't want to accept them. As human beings, we are not kind towards another. So, slow down and learn to accept another person's wish. Buddha. And there are a lot of kind people. Every walk of religion, they're offering kindness, they're offering pleasantness for every human being. Peace, peace, peace. May peace prevail in them, not having to fight another. Amazing, no? But we are still there to fight another. Find fault with another. Okay, so next one, it says, generosity is never a give and take, it is always a give. And I think that there was a few words missing in there. It should be give and wait to get. Generosity is never a give and take, it is always a give and wait till you get. Now how many of you had worked out that all relationships are about give and take? Yeah? I remember even my mother used to say, all relationships are about give and take. And I'm now saying, contradictory to that all relationships should be give and wait till you get and not to take. Why?
Because people take for granted.
Putra, if you give a book, yeah, that you have got from your grandparents to this Nanga, yeah, what do you think Nangi got? A book. But what did you give her?
Piece of family history.
Yeah. I didn't just give her a book. I gave her the family heirloom. Some sentiment with it. My great-grandmother left it for me and I'm giving it to you.
Yeah.
So she doesn't value your sentiment. Now when you want to take something from her, you say, I gave you this sentimental thing and try to take what you value out of the book. When for her, the book is just another old book. So it mustn't be give and take. It must be give and wait till you get. When she values it the same way, she will give you back what she valued. If you don't do that, you are in conflict. So how many times do you think we've given and tried to take when we would have been taking in violation of another person's value? This is a Dhamma. This is a Dhamma of generosity. This is what you need to do to, perfect yourself with. And a person who is like this is a kind person. Is a kind person. Okay? So we will read. I am the only one who knows who I am. Others know me for what I declare as to who I am. The way they accept and respect my declaration forces me to perform accordingly. I am mostly uncertain, discontent, dissatisfied and insincere. So I am the most pretentious and secretive out of the lot. Yeah? A nice summary to say who you are, right? Yeah? You understand that, brother? So much about you, brother. Okay, I'll read the next one. Just I do, and never are the others satisfied with what I do. I'm taken for granted, rarely appreciated, and I do not know when what I do is to end. I'm exhausted and fatigued with what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah? I'm sure at the back of the room there are some few mothers who will not think, yeah, Bante. I'm doing. Nobody appreciates what I do. I'm taken for granted. And now I don't know when things are to end. I'm tired. So every child will say this, right? I'm studying. How much ever I study is not enough. So yeah, as an obedient child, if you are told once to study, what will you do? Study. If you are told 10 times a day to study, what will happen? Go to sleep. Why? I've got too many instructions and I don't know which of the studies to fulfill. And the nature of nagging makes you tired. Why? It doesn't matter how much you fulfill the first request, the rest have made you tired, exhausted, and not appreciated the effort that you put to study on the first request of obedience. And this is the biggest issue that you have at home, where most tasks are repeated and repeatedly requested, and now you're tired with the request. So your own personal initiative to do something is not even given the space. If you want to go and do something in the kitchen, wash or whatever, they'll come and say, wash the other bits as well. So now they have given the instruction, your initiative is now nowhere. They don't understand that, but they just want to be big, they want to be controlling. So they make all guardians, all teachers, all others in the society. Not to bring about condemning of anybody. All what you need to do is to see that this is how it is, and now to fulfill that execution without being tired.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
Now that you know that it is the multiple saying and the nagging that makes you tired, you must know how to switch off and still work with the praise, self-praise, so you're happy with the outcome. Knowing that even after you have done something, that the parents or the guardian may only come and see the bit that didn't get done, and he will not be appraised for the bit you did.
So you shouldn't have expectations.
With a hard not to have the expectation. But what you must learn is to do what is called self-appraisal, self-reward. So say, with the time and the resource I had, I've done the best job. Well done. So even when other people say certain things, you could always turn back and say that, with the resource and the time I had, I've done the best, I'll do better next time. And not to fight it and not be angry with it. But praise yourself and position yourself. Declare yourself as with the resource and the time you had, this is all you could have done. And the next time that you will try to improve on it. And that declaration will get a message across to them. Knowing how to appreciate. And it's not a case of going against them or talking against them. I don't think so. I think it's about the nature of declaration that you spoke earlier. I'm all about the declaration I make. So you must declare that the time that I had in the skill that I had to do, this is the best I could come up with. Next time I'll try to improve. That's all you could do. So then it's appreciated from there and not nagged. Okay? So this document does have quite a few things to consider, right? Let me just read a couple of things from the top right here. If you change the way you listen, what you hear changes to the way you have listened to it. Did you get that? If you change the way you listen, what you hear changes to the way you have listened to it. You understand that? So again, this is one way for that to understand. When some certain instructions are given, you must hear it in a wholesome manner and not as a nagging tale. And the moment you change that way, you only hear the wholesomeness out of that. Same with the seeing, same with the smelling, same with the taste. Now, another thing to understand is that how many of you have been hurt before by what others have said and done? Yeah? So, is the other person to be blamed or you are to be blamed? I am to be blamed. It's not what the other said. It's the way I took what the other said. So I take something and the way I take it causes me to hurt myself, to insult myself, to irritate myself, to aggravate myself, and to be everything like this. So I am the cause of all my experiences is the message that he gives. So I should not be blaming anybody for hurting me and insulting me or doing anything at all. So you become a kinder person around home. Do you think you'll change today? Yeah, there's enough and more grounds for you to change. Okay, so this is the first sheet that I'm doing, right? And I'm hoping that when I come back in March that I will have a further sheet of some other things of about how to disassemble and disassembly and dismantling of I, me, mine. It's the next few card I'm putting together. And that's also some nice information to deal with about selfishness and hatredness and delusion and things like that. Okay? So, if you want the extra copies that are here, please take them, share with as many people. If you want more copies, there will be a soft copy available on the website that's at the back here. Right? Made available to you all. On Facebook, it will be put as well. So if you want to come on board, and please take a copy, share it with many people. Because I think that just reading this on its own would give a huge amount of lightness inside you on a daily basis. Yeah? Just read it and get it explained by somebody if you can. And that will be helpful. Okay? So, what I would like to do, right, is to conclude the program in a way, because there are certain people who want to leave for about 3:15, 3:20 or so, having to some other commitments of theirs as well. I respect everybody's needs in this way. So first of all, on a Sunday afternoon, for you all to have come here and have participated patiently is a great success. So I'm very, very, very grateful for you. So thank you very much for having the patience with me, sharing your own personal self among the friends around. Okay? What Buddha says is that seeing this nature of I and seeing and looking inside you is the most meritorious thing that you can do. It overpowers all the dhanas you may be able to give. For one moment, if you can see this I, the birth of this I, the birth of this me, the twinned me, and the nature of how the gain is got and how the possessiveness is created, seeing this self and getting light inside you is the most important thing in this life. Okay? So I think we've done such a great job in seeing yourselves for this long, from 12 onwards till 3:15 or so. It's a great time to sit and wait. So, you know, when a mother came and asked me earlier, for how long am I going to talk? I said, I'll be about 2-3 hours. She turned and says, oh, my children won't be able to do that. I know my children. This world, every child will be willing to sit here and listen. Then listen to themselves to become better human beings. So this investment that I make is for the future of the generation in this society. So grateful for whatever you'll salvage out of discussion, and for you to adjust yourselves to be who you are. Next time I meet, if you haven't changed, that's okay with me. I move from where I meet you and not from where I leave you. Right? This is the nature of what kindness is about. So thank you for your participation. Let us all take this time to share the merit we've gained with all the living beings in this universe. May all the living beings be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May they be able to be selfless in receiving all the merit we offer them. May we be able to selfless to accept any merit that they are offering us at this moment. May we be able to focus our attention on our relations, the ones who are among the living and the ones who have passed away. In whichever realm they may they be all happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May each one of you have the courage and the strength and the confidence to see within yourself and adjust yourself accordingly, to satisfy the needs of whatever you have as your likes, dislikes and expectations. Make sure that your generosity is shared with as many a person, and that you develop the kindnesses by overcoming the aversions and blamefulness of others. May all of you be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. Please accept this blessing in silence. I'll deliver it in Pali. Sabbitiyo vibhajjantu sadarogo vinassatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava abhivadana silissa nityam vajjapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukham balam ayurarogya sampatti sakka sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminyate saminjatu. Super.